Strategies for enhancement in food production. With ever increasing population of the world, enhancement of food production is a major necessity. Biological principles as applied to animal husbandry and plant breeding have a major role in our efforts to increase food production. Several new techniques like embryo transfer technology and tissue culture techniques are going to play a pivotal role in further enhancing food production. Animal husbandry. Animal husbandry is the agricultural practice of breeding and raising livestock. As such, it is a vital skill for farmers and is as much science as it is art. Animal husbandry deals with the care and breeding of livestock like buffaloes, cows, pigs, horses, cattle, sheep, camels, goats, etc. that are useful to humans. Extended, it includes poultry farming and fisheries. Fisheries include rearing, catching, selling, etc. of fish, mollusks, shellfish and crustaceans, prawns, crabs, etc. Since time immemorial, animals like bees, silkworm, prawns, crabs, fishes, birds, pigs, cattle, sheep, and camels have been used by humans for production like milk, eggs, meat, wool, silk, honey, etc. It is estimated that more than 70% of the world livestock population is in India and China. However, it is surprising to note that contribution to the world farm produce is only 25%. That is, the productivity per unit is very low. Hence, in addition to conventional practices of animal breeding and care, newer technologies also have to be applied to achieve improvement in quality and productivity. Management of farm and farm animals. A professional approach to what have been traditional practices of farm management gives the much needed boost to our food production. Let us discuss some of the management procedures employed in various animal farm systems. Dairy farm management. Dairying is the management of animals for milk and its product for human consumption. Can you list the animals that you would expect to find in a dairy? What are different kinds of products that can be made with milk from a dairy farm? In dairy farm management, we deal with processes and systems that increase yield and improve quality of milk. Milk yield is primarily dependent on the quality of breeds in the farm. Selection of good breeds having high yielding potential under the climatic conditions of the area combined with resistant to diseases is very important. For the yield potential to be realized, the cattle have to be well looked after. They have to be housed well, should have adequate water and be maintained disease free. The feeding of cattle should be carried out in a scientific manner with special emphasis on the quality and quantity of fodder. Besides, stringent cleanliness and hygiene both of the cattle and the handlers are of paramount importance while milking, storage and transport of the milk and its products. Nowadays, of course, much of these processes have become mechanized, which reduces chance of direct contact of the produce with the handler. Ensuring these stringent measures would of course require regular inspections with proper record keeping. It would also help to identify and rectify the problems as early as possible. Regular visits by a veterinary doctor would be mandatory. You would probably find it interesting if you were to prepare a questionnaire on diverse aspects of dairy keeping and then follow it up with a visit to a dairy farm in your locality and seek answer to the questions. Poultry farm management. Poultry is the class of domesticated fowl, birds used for food or for their eggs. They typically include chicken and ducks and sometimes turkey and geese. The word poultry is often used to refer to the meat of only these birds, but in a more general sense, it may refer to the meat of the other birds too. As in dairy farming, selection of disease-free and suitable breeds, proper and safe farm conditions, proper feed and water, and hygiene and healthcare are important components of poultry farm management. Animal breeding. Breeding of animals is an important aspect of animal husbandry. Animal breeding aims at increasing the yield of animals and improving the desirable qualities of the produce. For what kind of characters would we breed animals? Would the selection of characters differ with the choice of animals? What do we understand by the term breed? A group of animals related by descent and similar in most characters like general appearance, features, size, configuration, etc. are said to belong to a breed. Find out the names of some common breeds of cattle and poultry in the farms of your area. When breeding is between the animals of the same breed, it is called inbreeding, while crosses between different breeds are called outbreeding. Inbreeding. Inbreeding refers to the mating of more closely related individuals within the same breed for 4 to 6 generations. The breeding strategy is as follows. Superior males and superior females of the same breed are identified and mated in pairs. The progeny obtained from such matings are evaluated and superior males and females among them are identified for further mating. A superior female in case of cattle is the cow or buffalo that produces more milk per lactation. On the other hand, a superior male is the bull which gives rise to the superior progeny as compared to those of other males. Try to recollect the homozygous pure lines developed by Mendel as discussed in chapter 5. A similar strategy is used for developing pure lines in cattle as was used in case of peas. Inbreeding increases homozygosity. Thus, inbreeding is necessary if we want to evolve a pure line in any animal. Inbreeding exposes harmful recessive genes that are eliminated by selection. It also helps in accumulation of superior genes and elimination of less desirable genes. Therefore, this approach, where there is selection at each step, increases the productivity of inbreed population. However, continued inbreeding, especially close inbreeding, usually reduces fertility and even productivity. This is called inbreeding depression. Whenever this becomes a problem, selected animals of the breeding population should be mated with unrelated superior animals of the same breed. This usually helps to restore fertility and yield. Outbreeding. Outbreeding is the breeding of the unrelated animals which may be between individuals of the same breed but having no common ancestors for 4 to 6 generations. It is known as outcrossing, or between different breeds known as crossbreeding, or different species which is known as interspecific hybridization. Outcrossing. This is the practice of mating of animals within the same breed but having no common ancestors on either side of their pedigree up to 4 to 6 generations. The offspring of such mating is known as an outcross. It is the best breeding method for animals that are below average in productivity in milk production, growth rate in beef cattle, etc. A single outcross can often help to overcome inbreeding depression. Crossbreeding. In this method, superior males of one breed are mated with superior females of another breed. Crossbreeding allows the desirable qualities of two different breeds to be combined. The progeny hybrid animals may themselves be used for commercial production. Alternatively, they may be subjected to some of inbreeding and selection to develop new stable breeds that may be superior to the existing breeds. Many new animals breeds have been developed by this approach. Hisardale is a new breed of sheep developed in Punjab by crossing Bikaneri Eves and Merino Rams. Interspecific hybridization. In this method, male and female animals of two different related species are mated. In some cases, the progeny may combine desirable features of both the parents and may be of considerable economic value. Example, the mule. Mule is formed by the fusion of female horse and male donkey. Controlled breeding experiments are carried out using artificial insemination. The semen is collected from the male that is chosen as a parent and injected into the reproductive tract of the selected female by the breeder. The semen may be used immediately or can be frozen and used at a later date. It can be transported in a frozen form where the female is housed. In this way, desirable matings are carried. Artificial insemination helps us to overcome several problems of normal matings. Often, the success rate of crossing mature male and female animals is fairly low even though artificial insemination is carried out. To improve chances of successful production of hybrids, other means are also used. Multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology is one such program for herd improvement. In this method, a cow is administered with hormones with FSH-like activity to induce follicular maturation and superovulation. Instead of one egg which they normally yield per cycle, they produce 6 to 8 eggs. The animal is either mated with an allied bull or artificially inseminated. The fertilized eggs at 8 to 32 cell stages are recovered non-surgically and transferred to surrogate mothers. The genetic mother is available for another round of superovulation. This technology has been demonstrated for cattle, sheep, rabbits, buffaloes, mares, etc. High milk yielding breeds of females and high quality lean meat with less lipid meat yielding bulls have been bred successfully to increase herd size in a short time. Beekeeping. Beekeeping or apiculture is the maintenance of hives of honeybees for the production of honey. It has been an age-old cottage industry. Honey is a food of high nutritive value and also finds use in the indigenous systems of medicine. Honeybee also produces beeswax, which finds many uses in industry, such as in the preparation of cosmetics and polishes of various kinds. The increased demand of honey has led to large-scale beekeeping practices. It has become an established income-generating industry, whether practiced on a small or on a large scale. Beekeeping can be practiced in any area where there are sufficient bee pastures of some wild shrubs, fruit orchards, and cultivated crops. There are several species of honeybees which can be reared. Of these, the most common species is Apis indica. Beehives can be kept in one's country yard or the veranda of the house or even on the roof. Beekeeping is not labor intensive. Beekeeping, though relatively easy, does require some specialized knowledge, and there are several organizations that teach beekeeping. The following points are important for successful beekeeping. First, knowledge of the nature and habits of bees. Second, selection of suitable location for keeping the beehives. Third, catching and hiving of swarms group of bees. Fourth, management of beehives during different seasons. And fifth, handling and collection of honey and of beeswax. Bees are the pollinators of many of our crop species such as sunflower, brassica, apple and pear. Keeping beehives in crop field during flowering period increases pollination efficiency and improves the yield, beneficial both from the point of view of crop field and the honey yield. Fisheries. Fishery is an industry devoted to the catching, processing or selling of fish, shellfish or other aquatic animals. A large number of our population is dependent on fish, fish products and other aquatic animals such as prawn, crab, lobster, edible oyster, etc. for food. Some of the freshwater fishes which are common include catla, rohu and common carp. Some of the marine fishes that are eaten include hilsa, sardines, mackerel and pomfret. Find out what fishes are commonly eaten in your area. Fisheries has an important place in Indian economy. It provides income and employment to millions of fishermen and farmers, particularly in the coastal states. For many, it is the only source of their livelihood. In order to meet the increasing demands on fisheries, different techniques have been employed to increase production. For example, through aquaculture and pisciculture, we have been able to increase the production of aquatic plants and animals, both fresh water and marine. Find out difference between pisciculture and aquaculture. This has led to the development and flourishing of the fishery industry, and it has brought a lot of income to the farmers in particular and the country in general. We now talk about Blue Revolution as being implemented along the same lines as Green Revolution.